I think we want to, obviously this whole debate brings up some important large issues, and we could talk about those, but we also have a decision to make about how seriously we're going to take climate change, what, if anything, we want to do about it, and that in the end is what we're debating here tonight. So, Dr. Zubrin brought up a number of important points. Let me just respond to 2 or 3 of them. Would a warmer world be a better world? It would be a different world, certainly, and as the scientists tell us, how climate change plays out is going to be different in different places. A lot of it we can't really predict too well. But there seems to be a consensus that overall, a warmer world will not be a better world, if only for the reason that we've created a very detailed, a very complex infrastructure around the climate, the sea level, around the rainfall patterns that we have right now. As we change these things, again, the scientists tell us that it's going to hit some places pretty hard. Especially some of the poorest people in the world look to be in trouble in a warming world. Some of our state officials here in Colorado, who are in charge of managing water, for instance, are expecting perhaps 80% of current rainfall that we get today we'll still be getting in 50 or 60 years. They're planning for that now. Maybe they're wrong. Maybe we'll have more rainfall. But the people who are in charge of that infrastructure are starting to plan for a lot less rainfall. So it seems like we have a fair amount of evidence that a warming world will not be a better world on balance. Is my argument that we should reduce immigration anti-people? It's not. I've been developing and talking about my philosophy for 30 years now, and I've at least never conceived of it as being an anti-humanist position. As a matter of fact, I consider it to be the exact opposite. I'm interested in articulating a philosophy based on the idea that it's good for human beings to flourish. I think maybe where we disagree, perhaps, is I don't conceive of human flourishing as involving ever more material growth. I think a certain amount of wealth is a great thing. I think excess wealth can be a bad thing. I think sometimes we have to make choices between what we want to try to have grow in our lives. You might be able to pursue a path that's going to get you greater wealth, but that might not be the path that creates a better community. And I really think that serious Christians, we are here at Colorado Christian University, are in a particularly good place to help us think about this question, because our religion is one which has some interesting things to say about wealth, including this quote: "Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth where moth and rust corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also." Now, I don't know, maybe Jesus was just kidding when he said that, but I don't think so. I see that as an important part of the Christian message. I don't think it means we all have to wear sackcloth and ashes, but I do think it means that we might have to sometimes choose between the pursuit of mammon and paths that are better for our society. So, you know, I'm not trying to give an anti-humanist argument here. I take it seriously when the world scientists tell us we could be condemning people in sub-Saharan Africa to starvation. I take them seriously when they say we're going to have rising sea levels, and with a couple 100 million people in Asia living a few meters above sea level, their lives could be threatened as well. So I think it's a humane thing to be concerned about that. Finally, I just want to say a word or two about the question of whether my argument is anti-growth here. Yes and no. I am frankly anti-growth. I know, and I know probably in saying that I've lost most of this audience. but I'm going to say it anyway. Our politics is built around the idea that the sole, if not, well, either the sole or at a minimum, the most important thing for us to pursue is ever more growth, ever more wealth, ever more stuff. I think that might make sense in really poor countries. I don't think it makes sense in America in 2013. I don't think I need my salary to be twice as much. I don't think I'll be a better man or a happier man with twice as much wealth. And I think it's a mug's game. I think it's time we started thinking a little harder about what we want to grow in this country. I'd like to see us pursue growth in our intellectual development, in our spiritual development. I'd like to see us pursue growth in more flourishing communities. And there are a lot of things I'd like to see grow. I love watching my children grow. They weigh more and they're taller. I don't want to weigh more a year from now. That doesn't have to grow. So some growth is good, some growth is bad. Some growth is good for a while, and after a while you've grown enough. So maybe in the question and answer period we could discuss that a little. Thank you.